Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the man taking number 3 overall back in 2008. It's their now veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan.
And at times, it's hard for me to believe I'm saying veteran Matt Ryan. Still remember him coming out of Boston College, full of enthusiasm, mastered their 2-minute drill in his first OTA. What a player.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? From the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep is Trevor Davis. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So now here are the Dolphins getting set for their first drive. Leading them out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough, knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Kenyon Barner, deep for Atlanta.
Let's go, boys, bring it up.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL, but Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here we go.
From the 44, Ryan, he completes it to Julio Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run, Devontae Freeman. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Where's Eddie? 25! Check back, check back.
Now it's Freeman. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run here with Freeman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Freeman. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I don't think that 2nd down.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now the try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Like 20!
59! I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Switch it, switch it.
First down, Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Check. Right, Ernie!
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
On second down now, Laird, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. This from 54 yards away.
54-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Spins past him, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Just like that.
Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Ryan. He completes this to Russell Gage. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And the ball is knocked out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first, or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Falcons push further out in front. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just...
Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, 5, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be called for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
In your face.
A draw play now. Balaj. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. They're able to locate Wilson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. Still on his feet. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Balaj, 64 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. And there he had to break multiple tackles to earn that touchdown. Bottom line, he earned that touchdown.
Indeed he did. That was pretty much a get-off-of-me run and all the way into the end zone.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ready, 25!
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for Matt Gesicki. Incomplete. Demonte Casey on the coverage.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Ryan now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
92-80. 5-25. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is Freeman. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Now, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Balaj. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. On 2nd and 12, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. They'll try to run for it with Smith. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And this one is right through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are down by a single possession here, 16-9, as they come up 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he finds Parker here, complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. But that battle, that was won right up front.
And we're used to seeing those battles right up front, but we're used to seeing a lot of defensive tackles or more run stuffers and just play the spot where they are. How about these dancing bears we see nowadays that win the battle and then go upfield looking for runners?
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Fitzpatrick now. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll run on first down. Freeman. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front, and to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Ryan, and he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. The pass from Ryan complete to Freeman, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Ryan's throw caught by Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 82 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike, bring it on!
Okay, double it.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. That is incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick. It's Williams on the catch. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Mike, check, 59.
To the air again, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
All day.
1st down, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw, Fitzpatrick. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
A gain of 12 yards. And the Dolphins, 1st down. 1st and 10.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Here we go.
Fitzpatrick. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
On the delay, it's Balaj. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Fitzpatrick now from the 50. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you've got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Check. Mike 20. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get on.
From the 17, Fitzpatrick. And his throw is incomplete.
Intended for Mike Gesicki. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
On first down, it's Freeman. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Mike, check 55, Mike.
Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready, ready. Mike by 5. All right, D, let's go. All right, D.
They'll run on first down. Freeman. There to make the stop was John Jenkins.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On second down, it's Freeman. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
on any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Ryan. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And now the up man has it. It's a fake, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Adrian Claiborne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now they'll run on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the 2nd half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Complete to Jones. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. They toss to Freeman. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Caught by Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Falcons push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is up to 18 now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Whenever I see an in route dropped,
as we just saw on that play. I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On second down, Fitzpatrick again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete.
Intended for number 18. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Again, it's Fitzpatrick. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
On the positive side, it did pick up a first down, and it was a decent gain. But from the defense's perspective, they're pretty happy it didn't break big. And when that happens, offense is now showing its hand. They've shown us that play. Maybe we can hold them the rest of the game.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Davis now to return it. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike, 180! 59. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
On 3rd and 1, here's Fitzpatrick. And it's caught by Parker. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Check 59. 59. Mike to 59.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more,
Tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
59, Mike. 59, Mike.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This will be from 49 yards out. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
And here now come the Falcons. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
To throw again, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is brought in by Hardy. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 32-yard line. Throwing again, Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Wilkins getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Ryan finding Julio out wide. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Now it's Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Taco Charlton drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's Matt Bosher now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Check, 59. Ready, check.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Falcons' 42-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
45 to my 20. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 45.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Fitzpatrick again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Fitzpatrick's pass intended for Devontae Parker.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Fitzpatrick on 4th down. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Fitzpatrick. And it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Fitzpatrick to throw for it on 4th down. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
We're ready, 280, 25.
Get the ball.
Here's Freeman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Ryan to throw. It's hauled in by Hardy. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Ryan now to throw on third down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So with fourth down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will get the lead up to 14. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins now down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 2.5 to go. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, throws like that, especially where we sit in the 4th quarter, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, and you know one of my faults is that I often view this game through a defensive back's eyes. And in this situation, your team's losing, it's late, tighter coverage, take a chance and go and try and step in front of one of those and make a big play. So if you're the quarterback, that should be in your head. This is their time to take a gamble.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Fitzpatrick. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, Fitzpatrick. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Parker again, but it's going to be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
You got nothing.
To throw again. Fitzpatrick throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Albert Wilson. Incomplete. Coverage by Keanu Neal.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
I'm here all day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
It's now 4th down and 1.
They've been brilliant, perfect on 4th down so far, 3 for 3, and they're going to try again here. Now Fitzpatrick, they're able to locate Wilson. And he's taken down inside the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
But it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, pick your game up.
Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. His throw incomplete.
Fitzpatrick's pass, intended for Mike Gesicki, incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again, Fitzpatrick. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Check, 59. You're trapped.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Rip left.
Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
the previous play
yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least 1 play. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Two times. 3 out.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. And with that, we sign off from Miami.